Dylan Wong has faced his fair share of stardom's high and low tides, but nothing could have prepared him, or his fans, for the storm that nearly shattered everything he built. Before we uncover the untold truth behind the accusation that rocked his world and the woman who stood by him through it all, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss another emotional, shocking, or inspiring update on your favorite stars. The world once knew Dylan Wong as the charismatic, rising heartthrob of Chinese entertainment. With a breakout role in Meteor Garden and a career that skyrocketed almost overnight, Dylan was living the dream. Fame, endorsement deals, leading roles, and a massive fanbase from all corners of the world, he had it all. But at the peak of his fame, a single whisper turned into a roar, and suddenly, everything was at risk. It started with an anonymous online post. A woman claiming to have been emotionally manipulated by a major celebrity who fans quickly speculated to be Dylan Wong. The post didn't mention names, but the details, locations, timelines, and even certain photos seemed too specific to ignore. It spread like wildfire, and soon, Dylan's name was trending for all the wrong reasons. Rumors spiraled. Was it true? Was the Dylan Wong that millions adored hiding a darker truth? At first, Dylan chose silence. His management team issued a short statement denying the allegations, calling them baseless, but the damage was done. Brands began to pull back. Netizens divided into two camps, those who demanded accountability and those who insisted on his innocence. The media buzzed with speculation. It wasn't just a scandal, it was a war. But through it all, there was one person who didn't flinch, didn't run, and didn't abandon him. A woman who had once been spotted by Dylan's side in the quiet moments between his meteoric rise. A woman whose identity had never been confirmed, yet was always quietly present. She didn't make statements, didn't post selfies, and didn't bask in his spotlight. But now, she became the quiet center of his redemption story. While the world questioned everything about Dylan, she stayed close. Friends say she moved in with him during the height of the scandal, not out of obligation, but out of love. She cooked for him when he had no appetite. She read every cruel article, every hateful comment, so he wouldn't have to. And when the pressure became unbearable, when Dylan began to think of walking away from the industry altogether, it was her voice that pulled him back. According to an inside source, Dylan broke down one night and told her, "I can't fight this. Even if I didn't do it, I'm already guilty in their eyes." Her response? "Then fight for me. Fight for the truth, for us." That moment, friends say, changed everything. For the first time in weeks, Dylan emerged from the shadows. He appeared in a short video, no stylist, no filter, just his raw face and trembling voice. "There's a story going around about me," he began, "and I stayed quiet because I believed the truth would protect me. But I see now that silence only fed the lies. So here's the truth." In the emotional video, Dylan explained that he had been in a quiet, committed relationship with a non-celebrity for several years. He admitted that early in his career, he struggled with fame, with boundaries, and with making mature choices. But he firmly denied ever mistreating anyone or manipulating any woman emotionally or otherwise. "I've made mistakes," he said, "but not the ones being told about me. And I won't let this destroy everything I've worked for, or the woman I love." The video spread quickly, reaching over 20 million views in less than a day. Fans were moved to tears by his vulnerability. Even skeptics admitted that his raw honesty felt different. There was no PR gloss, no rehearsed lines. Just pain. Just truth. Soon after, a surprise twist emerged. The original accuser came forward once again, this time with an apology. She admitted that while she had been hurt in a past relationship, Dylan Wong was not the man she was referring to. The misidentification had stemmed from a fan who wrongfully guessed Dylan's name, and the story spiraled from there. "I never intended to ruin someone's life," she wrote. "But I should have been more responsible with my words. I'm sorry." That was the moment the tide began to turn. Dylan's name was cleared, but the damage was already deep. His endorsements didn't all return. Some producers quietly replaced him in ongoing projects. The sting of betrayal, both by the public and the industry, lingered. But one thing stood stronger than ever: the presence of the woman who never left his side. Slowly, Dylan began to rebuild. Not with fanfare, but with intention. He started volunteering at mental health awareness centers, speaking privately to young artists about navigating fame without losing their souls. He turned down interviews, preferring instead to let his actions speak. And behind every quiet comeback, she was there. The mystery woman who had now become his compass. For the first time, Dylan shared a candid photo of her, only her silhouette against a sunset. No name. No tag. Just a caption that read, "The one who stayed when everyone else left." Fans erupted in emotion. Some finally felt ready to move past the scandal, others were simply grateful to see him healing. The comment section was flooded with messages like, "She's your guardian angel, and that's real love." Gradually, Dylan returned to work. Not in the usual flashy dramas, but in an indie film where he played a fallen star seeking redemption. Paparazzi snapped rare moments of him walking hand in hand with the woman once called Mystery. Still, she stayed out of the limelight, refusing interviews and avoiding social media. It wasn't about fame for her. It was about love, loyalty, and quiet strength. In an emotional interview almost a year later, Dylan finally opened up. "There was a time when I thought everything was over. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, and I doubted everything I knew about myself. But she never once doubted me. She reminded me who I was when I forgot. I owe her my life." It was a full circle moment. From accusation to apology. From public humiliation to personal healing. Dylan Wong didn't just survive a scandal, he grew through it. He transformed. And the woman who once stood quietly behind the curtain became the foundation of his second chance. Today, fans look back at that dark chapter not with shame, but with pride. Because Dylan didn't run. He didn't retaliate. He didn't crumble. He stood, he spoke, and he owned every part of his journey. Not to clear his name alone, but to honor the person who walked through fire with him. They're rarely seen together, and they've made no official announcements. But whispers suggest a quiet engagement. A ring spotted during a candid fan photo. A soft smile exchanged during a rare public appearance. The signs are all there, but they don't need a headline to confirm what the world already knows. Because in the end, Dylan Wong's greatest love story wasn't the ones he acted in. It was the one he lived through, against all odds, under fire, and beside the one person who never doubted his truth. And maybe that's the real story here. Not the accusation. Not the scandal. But the redemption that followed. The healing. The loyalty. And the kind of love that doesn't ask for attention, but earns respect. So the next time you see Dylan Wong smile, remember what it took to earn that peace. Remember the storm he walked through. And remember the woman who never once let go of his hand. Because real strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it whispers, "I believe you," and stays.